from the 22nd of the second month of 1442, 13 death, and 3 the Empress, with 16 the Tower reversed. Holding on to what has ended, she connects. Holding the bounty of fall with other seasons comprehended, she reflects. Escaping with a spirituality full of new reason, they defect. Imprisoning is disruption and can really damage or even protect you. Healing the world with the feminine sensuality is with another kind of intellect. Transforming is on the way to individuation of the precursor that makes you like a sect. And what is your initial impressions of these cards? And
I picked up let's see, 13, the death card. Change, or await, like, you know, change will come in time. 3, I picked up healing, beauty, and mind over matter. 16, I picked up destruction in time, but you know, destruction is not only just a physical thing. There could be all types of forms of destruction, self-destruction, and just, you know, non-physical destructive things.
so this death card has a sickle, but the sickle is more of a handheld thing than a giant thing to just pull down a lot of things. And there's smoke, kind of reminding you of the whole funeral pyre thing.
Mhm.
And there's the snake, and I guess those are eagles up in the thing. So you got the snake, the eagle, and is there any scorpions? Well, I don't think there's any scorpions here. You have a couple jars, and you have a man, and oh, I guess you have a man and a woman symbol via those 2 jars above the cloak, and you have this face there. So you don't really have the scorpion, do you? Yeah, I don't think there's any scorpion here.
No.
But the lines involved with this, again, holding on to what has ended, she connects. Transforming is on the way to individuation of the precursor that makes you like a sect. And well, that's one of the things too that you see in some of the literature that we've both been exposed to, is that each person is like a sect to themselves, because it's not about joining any particular group. And that's, it's like some people's like, oh well, things immoral. It's like, yeah, just because there might not actually be any more Temple of Blood literature, for example. It may have literally come to an end as far as the published stuff that people are going to see. But it's like, well, if one's working with the current, one's working with the current. It doesn't really matter, and it doesn't really. But there are sometimes you have to watch out for. It's like the same person will lead different groups. Like like you've seen that with E.A. Quetting. E.A. Quetting has led had different groups as the times went by, and tried different things out there. And whatever issue he's had, he's sort of had throughout. It's been something more and you see that appearing with certain other things. It's like, I think, we're getting into the lady part here. Where's the well, I'm not getting this one appearing. So let me read this one. Holding to the bounty. Okay, yeah, that's it. Holding to the bounty of fall. With other seasons comprehended, she reflects. Healing the world with feminine sensuality is with another kind of intellect. So obviously not the sensuality for itself, but somebody else, the Unicole. I think Unicole, if Unicole stops being Unicole, she'll reappear as someone else, as with another name. And I think she's made clear that she's been thinking about that. So I mean, this is the message related to this card here is a lot nicer than some of the issues that people are going to say with that person. But
yeah, mind over matter.
But say, yeah, it's when it's not for itself, it just naturally is the thing. But she has red clothes underneath. It used to be basically red and pink were entirely women's colors in a lot of cultures, although sometimes they were entirely men's colors, so it just varied. Green, some cultures is the same thing too, because green is the whole Venus thing.
Green.
And people don't realize that Venus is usually not like, you see all this stuff about money magic and stuff, and it's like Venus is usually not what's being brought up with money magic. I mean, traditionally, that's just Mars? Not. What?
Right. I said, isn't usually Mars represented with what they call money magic and all that stuff?
Like Jupiter sort of stuff, because the king and
okay.
And maybe the sun because of the gold, or maybe even the moon because of silver. But Venus, there are some gemstones that are of that category, but so yeah, she's like representing all the seasons. I forget his name. Because I'm not as familiar with them. With the Farafaria movement, the wild festivities thing in California based, and some other names that they've had for themselves, their different groups. They kind of represent the season. There's this art book basically, and in this art book, and I'll make a video about this art book, by the way.
Okay.
And I won't show the art book for multiple reasons, because they're going to reprint it and have a new edition every 20 years or something, and they're not going to it's not worth getting my channel pulled because of some copyright issue.
Right.
But because I can talk about the message, but one of the things is the winter women are thicker, and as approaches summer, they're thinner, and the winter women are thin. But of course, it's crazy to believe. It's crazy to believe that everybody was just, back before Christianity, we're all running around naked in the middle of winter and all. No, they weren't.
Right.
And there's some cultures it's part of their mythology, but what people cover, it's just part of the thing. And people accomplish more by wearing clothes. It keeps them from the bugs and all this. It's like, even in summer, what, you want to be butt naked out there in front of all the mosquitoes and stuff like this? What's wrong with you?
Sunburnt everywhere.
And sunburn and all that, yeah.
Literally everywhere. That would be bad.
But yeah, it's like, look at all the different harvest seasons she's got. She's got
spring,
spring, summer, fall, and there's this.
And the winter coat.
There's one of those Venus statues down in the corner right there. I don't think I per se have noticed that. Now the Venus statues actually kind of, I agree with the Magical Egypt series. it does seem like they're presenting some brain related stuff with the Venus statues and some of the Lilith statues and stuff like this. Some of those statues do seem to convey things about the body and how we work
Mhm.
these things. Then,
Right.
but yeah, she's got the natural. She's part of the natural kingdom there, and the tower. So the tower, putting it in the order that we're at, and it may take me a while to show the card, maybe not. Escaping with a spirituality full of new reason they deflect. Imprisoning is disruption and can really damage or even protect you. Now, the Golden Dawn card seems to represent, if you've seen that one, it seems to represent like different religions. And this kind of goes beyond like the labeling. It's like, okay, Christianity is going to be overthrown, but what's it's overthrowing it? The crescent and you have a high priestess card that has a book and a crescent and a cross all together on its card and all that stuff. So this is dropped, making it seem like it's about any particular religion, but the darkness, yet the light at the same time, overwhelms the structure. And the structure's on water. Because remember all those mythologies? Even the Bible stuff and the Quran, the Quran stuff talk about this creation out of water. So this stuff that's out of water is being returned to it, perhaps.
Yeah.
But you're supposed to. But the tower, there's something to build back on. You still got that rock there, so the tower falls and you build back up where you were. Or you use the same site because that's a good site for.
Yes, solid.
Solid. Lighthouses and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, it's good to have a solid foundation, whether you're building a house or.
And just like September 11th, people jumping out because they're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to die, but am I going to die in the flames or am I going to try to live by jumping for the water?
Right.
Because there's a chance of survival if you do that. So, and same thing, if you're jumping out of the building, you could be the person who survives. Some giant fires are on your way. You could be one of these rare people that falls 1,000 feet and survives.
Yeah, that would be a horrible choice, but yeah, if it came down.
But you understand those choices. But actually, people being, if there's an explosion, see, that was the weird thing. It's like there was an explosion that blew people out of the building.
Yeah. I remember something.
Well, I guess we can't talk further about that. But the
I got you.
But yeah. But at least they had a plan in the moment. So the fire happens, but it's like the thing just got struck by lightning. It just got struck by lightning. It's not like they had the time. The whole place had time to set on fire. In this card, it's not like the whole place had time to set on fire.
Like no
so
time.
It does represent some sort of enlightenment that happens that kind of breaks the physical order, the reliance on what you're told the physical order is.
Breakthroughs.
Okay, and